Carlo, massive congratulations. What a way to win the game here at the Etihad.
Happy, difficult game. We knew that we were going to suffer. We suffered. It was, of course, a really difficult game. But to win here, you have to behave like this. We had a great attitude. We defended well. Of course, they had more control of the game. We started well the game. But after that, they start to play and we had more difficulties. But we were able to keep going, to stay really concentrated at the back. And at the end, I think we won.
How did they make it so difficult for you out there tonight? Because you must be so proud of your team defensively for the display they put in.
I am so proud, yes, because we are not used to defend like this, but we were really focused, good position, defended well, really concentrated. In this aspect, we were really good. Of course, we could play. We could have more control of the game, but against City, it's not difficult. They are the European Championship still.
Yeah, well, how important was it to score the goal, as you say, so early on in the game that perhaps allowed you to be able to defend the way you did for the rest of it?
Exactly. I think also the goal revived. With the goal, we stayed a little bit back because we didn't need to play forward. But the goal was good combination. We were dangerous in that situation, and also sometimes we had the possibility to play in counter-attack. We needed to play in counter-attack because we could have space in that way.
Well, you've done it. You've knocked out the holders of the Champions League. And when you overcome an opponent like this, how much belief can that now give you as a team that Real Madrid can go on and win this competition for an incredible 15th time?
Yeah, we have to play a semi-final. I think in the last 3 years we played against Manchester City, and this is the 3rd year. I think Manchester City is a fantastic team, one of the best teams in Europe. I can say the best, and to beat them, I think it opened an opportunity to win again the Champions League.
I think everyone's wondering as well, Carlo, how you stay so calm out there watching your team play.
I have no energy, so I am calm for this reason.
Carlo, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Pep, it is always a fascinating battle against this Real Madrid team. What did you make of the game?
Yeah, we did everything more than well, so in all departments. So we were outstanding the way we played, and unfortunately we could not win, and congratulations, Madrid.
Does it make it tougher to take that you went out on penalties after dominating the game the way you did?
It is what it is. So we should have scored before. Unfortunately, we could not do it. The defensive did the transitions, but we controlled them. So they with the momentum and long balls, second balls, they are good, but we controlled that department as well. So we create everything, but unfortunately, we could not win.
Were you beaten by the better defensive team tonight?
No, we were better defensive, because we concede less chances than them. So we defend better than them, that's for sure.
So was it just about not putting away the chances that you had in front of goal? Why couldn't you do that?
When it comes to try is create as much chances as possible and concede less the chances. And after football is like that. So we prove, and what we have done in many years is do better than the opponent, creating more chances to concede few. This is what happened today. Unfortunately, we could not, like in previous games here, we create a lot, and unfortunately, we could not win in the penalty spot.
Yeah, we saw as well your reaction when Kevin De Bruyne missed that chance just after he'd scored the equaliser. Could have been a huge turning point.
Yeah, of course, it was until the end, and make incredible action. We could do it, but not just this one. It was another one, so it was not difficult. So with 10 players there, so close, and they defend really well with a lot of solidarity and do it until the end. But the way we play was unbelievable.
You've been here before in moments in a season and you've overcome these problems. So up next, another big cup game, another chance to make it to a big final.
Yeah.
What's the most important thing that you take away from a defeat like this as a manager?
When you lose, you don't take good takeaway things. So it's just recover, pass that night, and tomorrow recovery, and Friday travel to London to play the game.
Thanks for your time, Pep.
You're welcome.
Here's a man that had a big part to play.
This is why you come, man. This is why you come here for these days.
Great to see you. Look, congratulations. As the boys said, look, a semi-finalist now with Real Madrid, and I just noticed there, look, an exhalation of breath, perhaps a bit of relief. What are the feelings?
Yeah, I think it's relief. It's definitely because you put so much into the game, and I've played against City before when you've been close and you feel like you're going to get something out of it, and then all of a sudden they kind of snatch it away from you. So you have to work really hard to beat them, and I was pretty much dead on my feet at the end, and to win the game is a massive reward.
There were big moments, especially in the second half, where they had the pressure on you so much. How difficult were those moments to make sure you defended resolutely and you kept the focus?
It's so difficult because they're continuously probing with the ball. They move you around, and they take you into positions that sometimes you don't want to go. But you have to follow man for man, otherwise they can punish you, and they did for the goal. And to be fair, I think most teams at that point would fall apart when City kind of get on top of you, the crowd gets going, but we stood up really well, and for another half an hour, 40 minutes we worked hard.
It's a great result for you guys. You've gone through. Is this move for you, Real Madrid, playing here and what it means to players, is it lived up and gone beyond any expectations that you imagined before?
I could never dream of it, how it started, but not just because of the performances, the goals and all that kind of thing, but just the feeling you get playing for the club. You guys obviously play for huge clubs, but it's just that feeling every day. You get to put the badge on your chest and you feel like you're so grateful to be there, and yeah, long may it continue. Hopefully more nights like these.
Anticipating tonight's game, that you obviously thought that City would be stronger with Kevin and Carl coming back. So did you have to tweak the game plan, the tactics from the first leg?
I think it was pretty similar. A couple of us were doing roles that we weren't normally used to. Like me, I was having to go a bit higher to press, and which meant sometimes when the ball turned over and I wanted to get on it, it was hard to because I was so high. But it's the different adjustments and it's the sacrifices of your own game that you have to make. The lads done it brilliantly. Whoever came on from the bench kind of covered for that, and we got the job done.
How important is Carlo? He was obviously managing England, managing everywhere, and been hugely successful. Give us some little behind the scenes nuggets that he gives you guys to go out there and to be able to perform the way you do, under stress sometimes, but also when you can go and blow teams away.
I think our biggest strength is that he finds a way to let a lot of the boys play with freedom. I think some teams are a bit more structured in terms of the passing styles and the patterns of play, and it's really interesting to watch, and it's definitely difficult to play against. But I think one of our kind of biggest strengths is that we're so kind of off the cuff, if that makes sense. And as a man as well, he just fills you with calmness and confidence. Before the game there, I caught him yawning and I said to him, "Boss, are you tired?" And he went, "Yeah, you need to go and excite me out there." So that's the kind of confidence and calmness he brings.
You mentioned the badge. Is it heavy? Like is it the responsibility? Do you feel the pressure from the years gone by? Figo's given out awards before here, an ex-player. You got Seedorf and you got Fabio Cannavaro there. Do you notice all that and feel that pressure?
I think you've got to see it as responsibility more than pressure. If you want to come to a club like Real Madrid, if you want to kind of take that step, then I think you have to be willing to be criticised, to be under that scrutiny, be under that spotlight. And I think that the club do a great job, and if they don't think that you're ready, then they ease you in and they do things like that with you. But if you're here, then it probably means you can handle it. So you've kind of got to trust the process.
How's he answering these questions so eloquently at this age, man? How old are you, bro? Tell me how old you are, man.
Still 20, but
What about the fact that you knock out the holders and you do it on penalties, and you do it here at the Etihad as well? It's quite a way to do it.
It's incredible, really. I think today, and a lot of the games we play this season, you can look at moments where it's like moments of brilliance, moments of magic, and then today I think it just comes down to mentality, really. It's a matter of running not to track. So I think when you get those details right, and then you have those little moments like the penalties where the lads can kind of keep their cool, then it's a great mix going forward, and we've got a great team for that.
Does it feel particularly a proud moment for you to be able to go through to the semi-finals of Champions League, do it in England where you've got so many friends, so many family members that perhaps were here watching?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I think my brother's here today, and it's the first time he's got to see me play for Madrid. So I feel really proud of that kind of stuff. It's a main part of why I do it, to be honest. I get a lot of fun from playing football, but the idea of being able to play a game, come home to my mum and dad, is one of the most important things, and it's one of the things I love the most.
Bayern next, worried? How are you feeling about that? Excited?
I wouldn't say worried. We're always confident in our own ability. There was everyone wrote us off before the game anyway, saying that City were the favourites. I think pretty much everyone put them in the final. So Yeah, we've got nothing to be worried about per se, but we respect their talent and their quality, and we'll have to approach it with the same focus as today.
Excellent. Good luck with it. Thank you
very
very much for coming and talking to us. Congratulations as well. Semi-finals of the Champions League. That is amazing. Well done. Thank you so much. Great to see you. Thank you.
Carragher, Micah Richards. Champions League semi-finals are now clear. Should we take a look at the updated bracket now that the quarter-finals, both legs have been played? So here is what we have got. Dortmund against PSG on the one side of the bracket. Bayern versus Real Madrid on the other side of the bracket. It could be either an all-German final.
Oh, it's going to be an Mbappe final, isn't it?
That all-German final was at Wembley.
In
Dortmund, Bayern Munich,
yes.
2013.
It was.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good job, saved you there.
Saved me from what?
Buster, that is.
You didn't know, did you?
Didn't know what?
That final was played before at Wembley.
Nobody asked me the question.
No, but you were the host. You were talking about an all-German final. A nice little bit of information for the viewers.
I was about to continue my sentence, but then you rudely interrupted me, so I didn't get the chance to do that. Anyway, where are we? Thierry, how do you feel?
Good.
You do?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a sombre night for Premier League football, would you say? Arsenal out, Manchester City out?
Yeah, but it's about winning it. When you have Real Madrid on your way, obviously Man City managed to do it last year. The year before, on the way, Real Madrid beat every single team from the Premier League. So it is what it is. I think for me, it's not so much of a Premier League thing or not. So as you can see, you have two German teams there, a French team and obviously a Spanish team. But I think at the end of the day, on the night, and I know Man City had the ball and they were pushing and this and that, but the way they played defensively, Real Madrid, is just astonishing. And I know, yes, they had one shot on target, that was the goal, but City don't have a lot, just that crossbar, and that was about it. And the goal, obviously, you know what I mean.
It's weird, is it, Jamie? Because I guess it's a reminder that in European football, or on a stage as big as this, as big as the Champions League, form isn't always what necessarily matters. Certainly, if you look at the Bayern Arsenal result.
No, and I've said this before plenty of times. The team who wins the Champions League is not necessarily the best team in Europe. And I think Real Madrid, a few occasions, we'll see what they do this season. I think in the past, they've won. I think they beat Liverpool in the final we had a couple of years ago. They find a way to win. So I think they've played Manchester City now, I don't know if it's 3 times in 3 years or 3 times in 4 years. They've beaten them twice, and City have been the better team. But Real Madrid, there is something special about that club that have a hold on the opposition, a mentality, a belief they are the best team in Europe. And they beat Manchester City here on a penalty shootout when the last shot was on target, was in the 12th minute of the game, the goal. A couple of years before, they beat them with 2 goals in the last minute. That was just to take it to extra time. So there's something about this competition at Real Madrid that puts them on a completely different level to anybody else. Because anybody watching that game and didn't know the names of the teams, you'd say it was an absolute mismatch. And this team here are one of the luckiest teams you've seen to get through. But we know it's Real Madrid, and that's what they do.
Does it feel more bitter to go out, Micah, when you believe that you were the better side?
No, I think Jamie summed it up perfectly. I think you can't always win it. Man City, of course, were the dominant team, but it matters at the end, isn't it? That is the difference. It went to penalties. It's 50-50 on the night. Real Madrid got the win. Like Thierry said, they defended so well. I think Man City would just be frustrated within themselves to dominate the game like that and not put the chances away. When you've got players like Haaland on the field, who we've talked about so highly, not managing to make a proper impact in the game. Foden at times, isolated on that right, went into the middle, second half, looked a lot better. Kevin De Bruyne got the goal as well. I thought Kyle Walker, as I mentioned before the game, did really well with Vinicius. But that man on his screen there, Billingham, he didn't stop running all night. He is a proper talent. And there's no bitterness from me, at the end of the day.
It goes down.
What's wrong? I don't know why you stopped talking.
Someone just said, shut up a minute, Micah. I didn't know. Yeah, I mean...
Oh dear. Jude Bellingham, you're talking about him. He scored his penalty. Let's go through some of the key penalties that we saw really make a difference in this penalty shootout. Jude Bellingham, confident.
Very confident. Thierry mentioned it. Which way he's going to go? It says closed, keeper's right. Bernardo Silva missed there. I thought he tried to Panenka at the start, but it's bravery from the goalkeeper, Jamie.
Really interesting if that had been something, they spoke about beforehand, but the goalkeeper, as we mentioned before, has got a great record from penalties. Now 10 saves, I think, from 26 penalties, so he's been the difference. But Ederson, fantastic, wasn't it? And then it finished with that man, Rudiger. Thierry, are you confident?
Well, you know what? It was the best penalty of all. If you hit the post and he goes in, there's no way the goalkeeper can take that. I don't know if he meant that, but you can't save that. So, it was magnificent. And we're talking about the penalties, and we talked about Billingham, and we all know that he is that glue to that team. He will link the midfield to the two strikers. But Carvajal, sorry. You took a yellow straight away in the game. You have to defend the whole night on Grealish. Then Jeremy Doku. What a game. This is why I always say, football, yes, and I love the way City plays. We cannot talk about that. It is outstanding. But there is something called defending. You can also control a game defending well. And Real Madrid, and I know people will say City was the best team. Defending is part of the game. They defended ever so well against City. They didn't give them a lot. So, as much as people can say City was the best team, you have to defend also in football, and they did that ever so well. So I think the best team, the team that defended well also went through.
What would you say about the performance of Andre Lunin in goal for Real Madrid? Saved two of the penalties, the Manchester City penalties. Not a keeper whose name we're hugely familiar with, I think, in terms of the way you have been in years gone by with Real Madrid keepers.
He was probably third choice keeper. And you think Courtois, obviously, he's been out injured. Could argue the best goalkeeper in the world, sitting in the top 2 or 3. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, but Ariza Balaga.
Perfect.
Is on loan from Chelsea. He's gone in there. He cost a huge fee. He's gone in there and he's replaced him. And I've just told you his record there: 10 saves and 26 penalties, and he was outstanding. Listen, let's not forget he made a big mistake in the first leg early on from Bernardo Silva's free kick. So the personality he showed as well to go away to City, keep them in check, and then basically he'll be the hero now. He'll be all over the back pages in Spain.
Let's go through some of the action from the game. So it feels like such a long time ago now, doesn't it? 12th minute of the game was when Real Madrid took the lead in this one, made it 1-0, which put them 4-3 up on aggregate. Rodrigo, this was Thierry.
Yeah, I mean, the touch of Billingham, that's what we're saying every time. He's the guy putting the ball on the ground. The amount of time he kept that ball, he invited his team in. Valverde for Vinicius Jr. and in 1 and 2 times, Rodrigo scores. But the amount of time Bellingham allowed his team to go forward, and yes, that was the only shot on target, and yes, that was the goal, but they had a lot of counters that they didn't finish well. But look, that was what they planned, what they wanted to do. They did it early, and obviously City scored, and they went through on penalty, but they were just actually, like I always said, they love to execute a plan, Real Madrid, and you always think that you have them, but you don't.
But then Haaland, who was nullified probably over 2 legs, gets a chance. Akanji going into that midfield row, De Bruyne on the overlap. Ball comes back out. And Haaland does really well to get back on side, but he was so limited in chances over these 2 legs. I don't think you can blame him for that. He's coming back, just leaning back a little bit. But I think he does well to get a decent enough contact, and it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't his night tonight. And his overall game wasn't great tonight. Just didn't really have an impact. But that was his probably best chance of the game, Kate.
And then Kevin De Bruyne, he got a chance. I mean, obviously he comes to the fore even more so in the second half. And I mean, it's a save the goalkeeper should make. And he does. He still has to make it.
This is what I was trying to say. Nacho does ever so well here. It looked like a chance at the end, but it wasn't really. They covered it well. This is what I'm saying. We struggled to find a lot of chances from Man City.
The goal did come though. Let's take a look at the one that came from Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne with this one. Who wants to take? Micah, you want to take it?
Yeah, well, I mean, Doku did ever so well when he come on, added that energy, that pace, that dynamism down that side. And I just think it's a cool finish. You'll see it on more angles. We was talking about Foden and De Bruyne in that second half of normal time, trying to get into these.
شاهدت مباراة ريال مدريد والسيتي في بث مباشر اليوم الأربعاء 17 إبريل 2024، حيث يرتقب عشاق فريق ريال مدريد الأسباني المواجهة المرتقبة والقوية أمام نظيره فريق مانشستر سيتي الإنجليزي على ملعب الاتحاد معقل السيتيزن. وفي إياب دور ربع النهائي دوري أبطال أوروبا تشامبيونز ليج هذا الموسم 2023-2024، وفي لقاء الذهاب قبل أسبوع من اليوم من مواجهة ريال مدريد ومانشستر سيتي في دوري أبطال أوروبا، تلقى الميرينجي 3 في مرماه جاءت عن طريق برناردو سيلفا وفيل فودن وجوسكو، وكما أحرز الثلاثي الملكي رودريجو وفالفيردي هدف من النيران الصديقة. ويتطلع ريال مدريد لحسم التأهل إلى الدور نصف النهائي من بطولة دوري أبطال أوروبا عندما يلتقي بنظيره مانشستر سيتي اليوم الأربعاء، خصوصا بعد انتهاء مواجهة الذهاب والتعادل الإيجابي 3-3، حيث يأتي اللقاء بحظوظ متساوية في ظل تقارب المستويات الفنية لكل منهما. وتأتي مباراة ريال مدريد ومانشستر سيتي في دوري أبطال أوروبا اليوم بصراع آخر خارج الملعب بين أنشيلوتي وبيربار جوارديولا مدرب السيتي، حيث يسعى كل من طرف إلى فرض أفكاره الفنية على المباراة وحسم النتيجة لصالحه والصعود للدور قبل النهائي من البطولة. وتنطلق خلال ساعات قليلة واحدة من أقوى مباريات الموسم الكروي الحالي، وتجمع بين السيتي الإنجليزي وريال مدريد الأسباني. ويحل ريال مدريد ضيفا على مانشستر سيتي حامل لقب دوري أبطال أوروبا في إياب ربع نهائي النسخة الحالية من المسابقة الأوروبية. ويتأهل الفائز في مواجهة ريال مدريد ومانشستر سيتي لملاقاة المتأهل من المواجهة الأخرى في ربع النهائي بين أرسنال وبايرن ميونخ الألماني. وتقام مباراة مانشستر سيتي وريال مدريد مساء اليوم الأربعاء 17 إبريل على ملعب الاتحاد معقل الفريق الإنجليزي، وتنطلق في 9 مساء بتوقيت القاهرة 10